This is commentary on Lesson 130 in the Workbook for A Course in Miracles. It is impossible to see two worlds. Let's see here. This is really a valuable lesson in that it has a tendency, or it has the ability, to really quicken our experiences in the world, experiences of love, as we let go of the fear that's inside of us. But let me make a point about understanding the Course and why sometimes it seems so difficult and it seems so obscure and complex. It really isn't. It really is not. It's really a very, very simple Course. It's just simply saying that the only thing that exists is love, and that we have supposedly invented an opposite to that, which is fear, and we did so because we thought we wanted to do that. And whenever the Course seems difficult, excuse me, whenever the Course seems difficult, it's only because we're resisting this one idea that what we're experiencing, the pain that we're experiencing, the suffer we're experiencing, all of that, the guilt that we're experiencing it because on some level we want it and we're invested in it. And resisting that idea is what makes the Course seem complex, which makes it seem obscure, because it's a very simple idea. But when we're defended against owning what we experience, all the painful things, then the mind makes obscurities, makes things complex. But it's really very simple. You'll get what you want, and if you want that pain and the suffering, you have to see some investment to it and let that go. And once we do it, then that love is there. So let me let me just pull up. Let's see. Before I do that, I'm going to pull up this part in the text. But just to finish that thought, where the Course is leading us to is this place where we really are completely clear that what's happening to us is a function of what we want to happen to us, that we understand that, and that we can see fear and pain and suffering arise before us, but we're not fooled by it, and we don't listen to it, and what we are is just poised and ready to experience the love that's already there in what's happening. That's where we're heading ourselves to, and is to train our minds to be able to do that, because what the Course is saying is your movement through time and space is one in which your only experience can be love. That's our goal here. That's what we're trying to do. But we have to accept the fact that if we have something other than love, that on some level we're invested to it and we want it. Okay, so let me just reinforce that from chapter 21. Where it covers this. It starts out and it says, "We have repeated how little is asked of you to learn this Course. It is the same small willingness you need to have your whole relationship transformed to joy. The little gift you offer to the Holy Spirit, for which He gives you everything, the very little on which salvation rests, the tiny change of mind by which the crucifixion is changed to resurrection, and being true, it is so simple that it cannot fail to be completely understood. Rejected, yes, but not ambiguous, and if you choose against it now, it will not be because it's obscure, but rather that this little cost seemed, in your judgment, to be too much to pay for peace. This is the only thing you need to do for vision, happiness, release from pain, and the complete escape from sin, all to be given you. Say only this, but mean it with no reservation, for here the power of salvation lies." So here it is. I am responsible for what I see. I choose the feelings I experience, and I decide upon the goal I would achieve. And everything that seems to happen to me I ask for and receive as I have asked. So that's the key. That's the Course for grown-ups. Everything that seems to happen to me I ask for and receive as I have asked. So let's keep that in mind as we go through this lesson. We'll mention one more thing before we go through this. The Course says that its number one principle is that there's no order of difficulty in miracles. And the reason that's true is because of what I've just been discussing, is that our seeming experiences of suffering, of fear, of guilt, of pain, of sickness is there because we want it, but we want it because we value it. For some strange reason, we've wanted to play this game of separation. And so that's why there's no order of difficulty to miracles, because when we change what we value, when we change what we want, when we remember that we want only love, then that's what we're going to have. Okay, so let's go through this lesson here. It's impossible to see two worlds. Perception is consistent. What you see reflects your thinking, and your thinking but reflects your choice of what you want to see. Your values are determiners of this. For what you value, you must want to see, and believing what you see is really there. No one can see a world his mind has not accorded value, and no one can fail to look upon what he believes he wants. So really get this train of what it's describing as what's the cognitive processes inside of our minds. It begins with what we value, and what we value we're going to want, and what we want we're going to believe in, and what we believe in we're going to seem to experience, and what we seem to experience reinforces that value. And so it completes a loop. What you value, you will want, you will believe in, you will see and seem to experience. So that's the train, and that's why we always come back into the course. What do I want? What do I want? What is it that I really want? And continue, what is the purpose of this situation? What do I want? We always have to ask that question. And when we're experiencing the pain and the suffering and the fear, all we need to do is say, is this what I want? Is this what I would see? Is this really what I want? And we'll remind ourselves, no, that's not what I want. I want to experience love. Please give me the strength. Let the miracles come to me, and I will see that love. Okay. All right, so let's move on from there. Yet, who can really hate and love at once? Who can desire what he does not want to have reality? And who can choose to see a world of which he is afraid of? Fear must make blind, for this is its weapon. That which you fear to see you cannot see. Love and perception thus go hand in hand, but fear obscures in darkness what is there. All right, so if we take this train of thought, what we value, we will want, we will believe in, then we'll seem to experience. Well, what it's saying here is that you don't really want fear. And so what it seems to see is just darkness. It's just chaos. It has nothing to do. It has it's completely obscure. It doesn't make sense, because at the end of the day, we just think that we want fear, but we really don't want that. So the world that we see that's composed of fear is just a chaotic world. It doesn't make sense. But when we recognize that it's love that we really want to experience, then this whole train of, well, that's what I value, that's what I want, that's what I believe in, and then that's what I'll experience. So at the end of this paragraph, he says, love and perception thus go hand in hand, but fear obscures in darkness what is there. What then can fear project upon the world? What can be seen in darkness that is real? Truth is eclipsed by fear, and what remains is but imagined. Yet what can be real in blind imaginings of panic born? I love that sentence. Yet what can be real in blind imaginings of panic born? What would you want that this is shown to you? What would you wish to keep in such a dream? Fear has made everything you think you see, all separation, all distinctions, and the multitude of differences you believe make up the world. They are not there. Love's enemy has made them up. Yet love can have no enemy, and so they have no cause, no being, and no consequence. They can be valued, but remain unreal. They can be sought, but they cannot be found. Today we will not seek for them, nor waste this day in seeking for what cannot be found. Okay. It's impossible to see two worlds which have no overlap of any kind. Seek for the one, the other disappears, but one remains. They are the range of choice beyond which your decision cannot go. The real and the unreal are all there are to choose between, and nothing more than these. Today we will attempt no compromise where none is possible. The world you see is proof you have already made a choice as all-embracing as its opposite. What What we would learn today is more than just the lesson that you cannot see two worlds. It also teaches that the one you see is quite consistent from the point of view from which you see it. It is all a piece because it stems from one emotion and reflects its source in everything you see. All right, so now we're going to describe the practice here. And notice we've been practicing for 30 minutes in one way or another. Once we did, one of these practices, I think it was Let Me Remember I'm One with God, was a full 30 minutes. And then we broke out to several of ones that were 2 for 15 minutes, and then we did like 3 for 10 minutes, and now we're going to do 6 for 5. And this is part of the course's way of keeping us mentally nimble, so we don't get rigid into our practices. So we could, it strengthens the mind not to get into a rut and ridge like that. So now we're going to take these ideas and we're going to practice them 6 times for 5 minutes, but it still amounts. We're having 30 minutes of practice. Okay, so 6 times today in thanks and gratitude. Now again, I mentioned that this is the stuff to read carefully for so you catch it. This is the attitude we want to hone in our minds, thanks and gratitude. So as we go to practice, we'll go there and we want to hold on to that sense of gratitude and thanks. So we'll gladly give 5 minutes to the thought that ends all compromise and doubt and go beyond them all as one. We will not make 1,000 meaningless distinctions, nor attempt to bring with us a little part of unreality as we devote our minds to finding only what is real. And that's love, right? That's what's only real, and that can be our only experience out there. So begin your searching for the other world, the world of love, asking for a strength beyond your own and recognizing what it is you seek. You do not want illusions, and you come to these 5 minutes emptying your hands of all the petty treasures of this world. You wait for God to help you, as you say. So again, it's let go, let God. It's always what it is. We have to let go of the ego so we can let in spirit. It's always a two-stepper there. So you wait for God to help you, as you say. It is impossible to see two worlds. And let me accept the strength God offers me and see no value in this world that I may find my freedom and deliverance. And so with a little care, we can see here why it needs to be God's strength. Because our world is a world of bodies, and that seems so real. And what the body seems to be giving us seems so real all the time that we need to find that deeper self inside, that God inside, and have the strength of that have us not value this world of fear and bodies that we see. It's not on this level that strength that comes from. It's got to be a deeper level, because on this level we're so invested in it. There's no way we can say, well, that has no value. I'm not a body, whatever. I'm not here. To really do that, we have to dig deep inside and ask for that strength that's deep inside, and it's the strength of God. So we begin in thankfulness and gratitude as we start this practice and say, it's impossible to see two worlds. Let me accept the strength God offers me and see no value in this world that I might find my freedom and deliverance. God will be there, for you have called upon the great unfailing power which will take this giant step with you in gratitude. So notice that now is that we have the gratitude of God when we practice this. We have the gratitude of truth that we're doing this. It's thankful for us that we're able to take this time and spend these 5 minutes. Nor will you fail to see his thanks expressed in tangible perception and in truth. So that's just saying that now our world outside of us, once we've decided to have a strength not to see this world of fear, not to see this suffering as our reality and pain, then in that same world, seeming physical world, we'll see love manifested. That'll be our experience. That is what it's saying, is that God's thanks for us will be expressed in tangible perception and in truth. And you will not and you will not doubt what you look upon, for though it is perception, it is not the kind of seeing that your eyes alone have ever seen before. And you will know God's strength upheld you as you made this choice. Dismiss temptation. So that's the longer practice period. Calling upon God and asking for His strength and help. Practicing this with gratitude and thankfulness, and understanding that God's thankfulness will be returned to us in giving us tangible perception. Some will have some relief, some sense that love is real, that love is there for me. That's what I'm existing in, not this pain. So that's the gift that we will get in this practice. And so we're going to do this 6 times a day for 5 minutes, and then here is another practice throughout the day. This is not structured by time, but this is structured by need. This is what the Course calls a response to temptation. And the temptation is this, is seeing this world of fear and pain and suffering. So it's saying you can practice now, dismiss that temptation easily today, whenever it arises, merely by remembering the limits of your choice. The unreal or the real, the false or the true, is what you see, and only what you see. See, that's really key, because what we do is, the ego is always analyzing. It's always, what's really going on? What did that happen? How is this? What did they say? What did they mean? What's going on there? What's going to happen? And it's just saying, stop that. Stop. It's only the unreal or the real. It's only the false or the true is what you'll see, and only what you'll see. Okay? Perception is consistent with your choice, and hell or heaven comes to you as one. So accept a little part of hell is real, and you've damned your eyes and cursed your sight, and what you will behold is hell indeed. Yet release of heaven still remains within your range of choice to take the place of everything that hell would show to you. All you need say to any part of hell, whatever form it takes, is simply this: it is impossible to see 2 worlds. I seek my freedom and deliverance, and this is not part of what I want. Okay? There it is. No order of difficulty in miracles. And if you don't want it, it's going to go away. We'll make that other choice. So that's the other practice besides the 5 minutes every day. Whenever we're tempted to see ourselves in hell, to see ourselves in fear, to see ourselves in suffering, this is all that we need to do. All you need to say to any part of hell is, it's impossible to see 2 worlds, and I seek my freedom and deliverance, and this is not part of what I want. Okay, so that's the practice today. And I guess that's it for today. Thank you.